Good day, my friends. We are now going to check and clean our primer pockets. Then we will be measuring out our headspace and finding our headspace for our rifle. I am trying to move this along while still bringing you the quality you deserve. The season is getting closer, so let's be ready. Please subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, and leave a like. Let's keep this series moving.
They do get some mung in there. Can you see that down in there? There is mung in there. And what we want to do is get that out. And that just takes a quick run over. Now we're using our little homemade scalp from the machine that I made. And we're just going to give these a quick run through. Make sure you get them on there straight. Blow them out. Takes a lot of air. And that's it. We're just cleaning the crap that the tumble did not get. Because unfortunately that tumbler doesn't have a little guy who crawls in there and gets into the primer pocket with the scrub brush and cleans them out. But this does a nice job of it. I know it's another time-consuming job, but what am I gonna say? Now there is more going on here, okay, than just cleaning the mung out of the pocket. As you'll see, there's a little bit of brass there too. So when you fire a bullet, there is an extreme amount of pressure going on there. And it changes your brass in more ways than one. And sometimes it can even push up on the base of the primer pocket ever so slightly. Then, while we're cleaning, inside here in the circumference of the base of the primer pocket, while we're cleaning, if that brass is moved, we're going to get a little bit of brass chippings out of there if it is moved. So this is like a twofold thing. Now, when we did these originally, uniformed the pockets, they were all fine. But now after firing, they have, some of them have very slightly, the base of the primer pocket has moved up a little. Now you see this one after cleaning. I don't know how good you can see it, but there's a little ring around the circumference of the base of the primer pocket. That's where it took off some brass. But we're not going through the whole thing of cutting them and measuring anymore. We did that. We don't have to do that again. We're just scraping out the little minute parts that may have grown. Okay, I'll get this done, and then we'll move on to the next thing, which will be checking primer pocket. Make sure they haven't expanded or anything. I know they haven't, using this gauge. Red is for no-go, green is for go. This being Lapua brass and it fired one time, this is a very unnecessary step, but I just want to show you how to do it. This does not have a brand on it. I'll try to look this up and tell you where I got it. But this is very helpful, you know, after a few firings, whatever. Because if your primers aren't in there tightly sealed, you're gonna have problems. Half of your gases, your ignition is gonna sneak out the shell before it gets to the powder. Now we are going to get the handy little tool out. This little thing for measuring primer. Now, I put the red tape and the green tape here, so I know which side is go, no go, because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they had it written on there. You'd have to see what fits. But all we're trying to do here, all right, see, the green won't even go, which means they're nice and tight. And the red is bigger, so there's no way that's going in there. But these do not even need to be checked, but that's how you do it. You just try to stick it in there, and if it slides in, you know, all the way to the head, easy. That's okay if it's the green side, but if the red side goes in at all, adios with this case. It's a goodbye. And that's really all there is to it. I'm not even going to waste the time doing mine because it's brand new brass. I know they're fine, but I just wanted to show you how it worked. Thank you. Okay, now we are going to get onto the head spacing. So you will need your brass, obviously. Something else to put the ones you measured in. And a piece of paper. And a pencil. So we're going to start measuring a headspace like we did last time. And we're going to write down our longest one here, and when we get to a longer one, we'll cross it off and write that one down. But as you can see now, let me turn it on, let me get set up, and let the pencil roll away. We're going to reset this to 0. And we're going to measure our first one. And I got the wrong calipers here. Excuse me. On 0. We're going to measure our first one. Now, this all depends on how hard you press on it. 107.1. That sounds really close to what I should be. Now, if I press harder with my thumb, it's going to go up a little or down. So make sure you always use the same thumb pressure. So we're at 107.10. 0.0710. I'll put the 1 down there for good measure. And I'm going to set this one aside now, because so far that's our longest one. So we want to always have the longest one set aside. 705. 0710, so that's the same. 05, that's a little shorter, we're 10, so 1.0710 again. Or 05, that's a little shorter. So we're still at 1.0710 is our longest. 1.0710. Seems to me that my brass has expanded, fire formed all the way in the first fire forming. I like that. So that's how you do that now. I'm on 1.0710 for my longest headspace. Now, I could go through all 200 of these, depending on what kind of brass you're using, and if you followed along, you should be headspace too. You should be good. Your numbers are going to be different, but mine is 1.0710, and I know that from my last barrel because Short Action Customs chambers my barrel and they are identical. I mean identical every single time, so I don't have to worry about that. Sometimes with my old barrels, I will spin off the barrel I have on there and put on an old barrel and use that just for fire forming, so I'm not wearing down the new barrel. But being as this was a brand new barrel, I wanted to get something down it in the first place. So that's how that works. We now have 1.0710. And I like a headspace of 2,000. So if I take so if I subtract 2,000s from that, let me get the calculator out just to make sure. So I've got 1.071 minus, I want to take 2,000ths off, 0.002, and that equals 1.069 is what I always shoot for. So I'm in the same realm here, but this is just to show you how it works. So our next move will be to size this brass to this measurement, 1.069, or whatever it is that you came up with. All right, I'll see you in the next job.